Washington.
Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Washington. I'm a father, teacher, and the founder of Cause. Today we're going to talk about ReadEase. It's an AI-powered reading and assessment tool. The idea for ReadEase actually came from my dining room table back in 2017. I was in grad school at the University of Washington, and unfortunately my daughter had just been diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Get a little choked up. She actually knew how to read. We prepared her, we did everything right as far as parents. We prepared her for kindergarten and she knew how to read. The minute that she was diagnosed, she had to spend a lot of time in the hospital, sometimes months in the hospital, and as a result, she lost a lot of that learning. I was fortunate enough to be learning how to teach kids how to read at the time, and we would sit at the dining room table every day, even on days when she had long appointments, and we would just build up her skills. Initially, it was identifying her deficiencies in reading, and then over a period of time, it was actually measuring her growth. At the end of it all, she was actually a year and a half ahead, right? So we built her up that much, and we still talk about it today. This is something that I carried over into the classroom with me. A lot of the times when I work with students, they're coming into high school, going into 9th grade at a 5th grade reading level, right? Really big on inclusion, but you can't have a kid in a math class, a science class, or a history class if they can't read the material. So a lot of the times they might put a kid in a classroom, but he's not actually able to participate. So a lot of the things that I did at the dining room table, I actually did those same things with my students over a period of time. And then COVID hit. And I was actually pretty disappointed with our response to how we went about working with kids with all of this technology, right? We have all of this at our hands and we have nothing but an excuse to use it because we can't be in front of each other. And I just didn't feel like they were taking advantage of it, right? After COVID, unfortunately, as you can see, literacy rates are still below levels recorded before the pandemic. And so it became an insatiable desire, it became a pillar of God's cause to really ensure that every student that we work with knew how to read, and in some cases, parents. As you can see, straight up, we're trying to solve the literacy problem. We're trying to fix it. We're trying to make it easier for teachers. So the ReadEase, the AI, it actually acts as an assistant for teachers, collecting data, helping them specially design instruction for students. It acts as a tutor for the actual student. So something that they can take home, whether they have a phone or an iPad, and it allows them to essentially get that explicit support 24 hours a day in some cases. And these are just some of the current issues. Some of these pictures, this is not how it will look in this final stage, but these are just examples of what we're actually able to do right now. So this is just a picture, this is a teacher view of a particular student. Any questions that the student may ask, they're all recorded. And if you see over a period of time, you can see the growth that a student's able to make. So you're able to use the data to inform instruction going forward. Next slide. This is the teacher's view. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for the teacher to use this app so that they can actually focus on the student. As you can see, you can create your own assessments. AI, the AI tool that we have actually creates assessments, or you can go online and try to find some CBMs. I know y'all don't know what that means. Assessments that you can actually input into the machine. And if you just look at all the things that it can do today, right here, you can't really see it that much, but I just wanted to make sure I stayed online. This is actually a view for a student that has dyslexia. We have a number of different views depending on maybe some of the struggles that a student may have. Like I said, you can create assessments. It's pretty cool. We have the speech, our text-to-speech option right now, where if you highlight a certain passage that may be confusing for a student, the AI actually helps that student understand it a little bit more. It'll read it to them so they can actually hear it and then kind of verbalize it back. It's kind of like if your parent read to you every night, right? We know some kids don't have that. Then you see it can summarize, define, and explain. And again, you highlight it, and AI pops it out. This is the student login. Any book, it's content agnostic, right? So meaning that you can input any book that we have licenses for. And then, like I said, these are just completed assignments to where the teacher, as they're getting ready to do an IEP or communicate with a parent, they can see the progress themselves. It just makes it a lot easier. And in the second phase, I know that bell. In the second phase, we're actually going to start to differentiate for different disabilities or struggles that students are having. All right, so from the dining room table to nationwide, right? This is something that obviously we want to be in schools, something that can be used for early literacy like it was used for my daughter. Another case, again, I got it for my daughter, for hospitals, right? Where students are unable to attend school for health-related issues. We do a lot of work in RHCs with individuals that have IDD that are getting ready to transfer out of these RHCs into society. And from our experiences, they don't have any people that are in those places that are actually teaching them how to read, or helping them, supporting them in their journeys to live independent lives. And adult learners, I think sometimes we tend to forget about the adults that can't read, whether they're a parent or they're just trying to get on their feet. And how will we use the money? I mentioned that it does speech to text. Right now it sounds like a robot, but the goal is to have a number of different voices. And I also mentioned that we want to be able to implement books into it, so we'll need licensing for that. Compliance and security. I don't know if you're aware of FERPA, but has anybody heard of HIPAA?
Yes.
Yeah.
FERPA is the educational version of HIPAA, right? So we want to make sure that we're in compliance. So we want to hire a FERPA consultant in order to ensure that we're doing our best to protect students' data. And then the pilot delivery. So we've had in the first phase, we had a number of different feedback groups, teacher PD, accessibility testing stipends. And we want to make sure that we're paying students for the time. And the last part, goodness gracious, I didn't know about this. I only got into tech 3 years ago, but cloud costs. So computing power and storage for pilot cohorts. And that's essentially how we use that money. So, hey, I appreciate your time. Looking forward to whoever wins. But if you want to check out a little bit more of what we do, the website's there, email, and then the phone number down below. And I just want to say, I know it's about to beep again, but honestly, this is something that I've done for the last 8 years. I've been in education for 10 years. I made it a point to work with young black boys who were at one point just stuck in one room. And I made it a goal, just like I made it with my daughter, to ensure, you know what, this kid is in middle school, he got 6 classes, he's gonna be in those 6 classes. And so we spent a lot of time with these kids. And so being able to use AI to duplicate that, not for just 100 of kids that I've worked with, but it could be 100 of thousands of kids. And so that's the goal, and that's ReadEase. Thank you.